wholeness and balanced vibrations. Today's transmission is all about the basic blueprint of the structure of existence. And to really understand this before you move on in spirituality or knowing thyself. And time again, we keep coming back to the 5 laws of existence. Law number 1 is that you exist. The I am. The Tattvam Asi. I am that I am. As a soul being, you have always been eternal. And that means that you've always existed. You always will, you are, and you always will be. Of course, you may change form within the bodily vehicle that carries you from one lifetime to another in the parallel universes or dimensions of lives as self, but you exist as the I am. I highly recommend listening to my I am meditations that I did a couple of weeks ago. So now that you know that, take a deep breath and just relax, because you're going to be around forever. You're always recycling the self. Law number 2. Everything is in the here and now. There is only the now. So what does that mean? What about time and space? Time and space are illusions. They're Maya. But your experiences within time and space are real. There is only the here and only the now. Law number 3. The all is one and the one is all. So, just as a tiny section of the hologram contains the information for the entire hologram, likewise we are all interconnected. As the microcosm, so the macrocosm. As above, so below. Everything is truly just one totality that is interconnected within the cosmic web or tapestry. And this is really experienced in something called the butterfly effect, where whatever happens energetically in a vibration in the microcosm is reverberated in the macrocosm. So we have to be so conscious of our thoughts, words, deeds, and actions all the time in the eternal now. Law number 4. What you put out there is what you get back, just like a boomerang. The outside is a reflection of the inside. Again, as above, so below. Physical reality is actually a 3-dimensional holographic mirror. I advise you to listen to my YouTube video called Mirror Mirror. Your physical reality is just a holographic reflection of your beliefs your beliefs that you most strongly believe in to be true. And so, like a mirror, the physical reality will not change until you change first. Not the reflection in the mirror, but you yourself. Law number 5. There will always be change apart from the 4 laws that I have just mentioned. And these never change because you're eternal. So I would definitely say, why don't you just enjoy the ride and transurf your way through the changes? In transurfing, we often talk about the wave of success. And this is when you sometimes feel so inspired and on top of the world. But then suddenly, the daily grind of life itself brings you straight back down again. Do you hang on to that feeling of life like a song of happiness and celebration? Of course. Keep that frequency high. Change your frequency, change your reality. Remember how it feels. Bring that feeling back to you when you're being triggered. It's like a muscle that constantly needs exercising. Keep the sparkle of that feeling as a celebration and cherish it. And notice that your life is changing for the better and better as you're riding your own wave of success. This is alone to give you peace of mind, confidence and joy, which means that you're being the magical song of your own happiness in your own life. And so when your feeling becomes a habit, you will find yourself permanently at the crest of the wave of success. But this needs to be practiced. How do we practice it? First of all, we need to be happy and grateful for everything that we have in this now moment. There is no empty call to be happy by default. And sometimes when circumstances do stack up against you, it is very, very difficult to be content from the purely practical point of view. And there is simply no benefit in expressing dissatisfaction. But one clue here is, do not take the bad news to heart. If you don't let it get to your heart, you will keep it out of your life. Close the door on the bad news. And this is no spiritual bypassing. No, you sit with it, you embrace it, you acknowledge it, you be with it, but then you close the door with it, you complete it, so that you can then open the door to good news. And it's really important to take note of the smallest sign of positive change and nurture it carefully. When your relationship with yourself and the world around you is good, you are creating a field of harmonious vibration surrounding you. And everything inside that field goes well. All is well in my world. This is your morphogenetic field. And so a positive attitude always leads to creativity and success, because everything is in the here and now. Receiving the reality you desire is almost like having your antennae out to receive radio waves. And a radio does not have to create the program it wishes to hear. It merely needs to receive an already existing program. We call this, in Reality Transurfing, the space of variance. Everything that the creation has already created exists within the space of variance. Once again, I talk about this more in my YouTube video called Mirror, Mirror. So you need to receive an already existing program. It's like tuning into that program, and it makes itself an effective receiver of matching the frequency of your intention. And so you're synchronizing your frequency. After all, you're an energy being. As a spiritual being, having a human experience. So wake up. Wake up to the fact that you are a spiritual being. And in this way, you create a similarity of vibrations with a program that you wish to receive. Likewise, you don't have to create the reality that you desire, because it already exists among the infinite probable realities of all simultaneously coexisting realities within the space of variance, which is beyond the duality mirror. All you have to do is make yourself an effective antennae, so that by similarity of vibrations, you receive that reality. How do you do that? By being in your joy and following my various programs on my Art of Inner Joy coaching, the links of which are below in my Linktree. This makes it physiologically real for you. So first you have to be the vibration to receive the vibration. In order to receive love in your life, you have to be the love, like for like, so that you will automatically receive that reality. Secondly, you must see the reality that you prefer as the ever now existing in that moment, so that then it will become tangible in your outer reality. Just like a radio uses a channel tuner to select and receive any one particular radio station out of all the programs that are simultaneously existing all around the radio. Likewise, there are an infinite probable number of realities that we could receive and experience at any one moment. You always have a free will choice. How do we select which one of these we wish to pull out into the foreground to experience? We select and receive specific versions of our reality simply by our belief structures. And so we select and receive by our 100% trust in what we know is so. If you intend to look at events that seem negative in a positive light, then that is exactly what they will be. Remember, however bad things are now, a lovely surprise will come your way on the condition that you maintain your coordination in the present moment. That is, look at the advantage. Look at the lesson that you have learnt by the situation presenting itself to you, and simply move over into your joy. And so when you're faced with any test in life, tell yourself this: if it works out, great. If it doesn't, even better. This way you haven't fed the pendulum on either side, the pendulum of polarity, because you know from within you that your world takes care of you. And so if something has not worked out, it means that you have avoided other problems that you cannot see. With this light-hearted mood, you can calmly go on a date with the destiny of whatever you are creating with your life. And from this moment onwards, whatever happens, remember, everything will be just as it should be, by you allowing it to be. And so a person's life is made up of a chain of cause and effect relationships, just like any other movement of matter. In the space of variance that I just spoke about, where everything exists, the effect is always located close to its cause. Just as one is derived from the other, so nearby sectors in the variance of space come together in what is known as a lifeline. Each event on each lifeline has two branches, one leading to a favorable direction and the other leading to an unfavorable direction. And every time you face any kind of event in your life, know that you have a choice right now, as there's only the now, of how you are going to respond to that situation. If you think of the event, feel the event as something positive, then you will step into your favorable branch of your lifeline. However, the tendency towards a negative force will express your discontent, and you will end up choosing the unfavorable branch. So as soon as something makes you angry, another unpleasant situation then follows. It's like sometimes waking up in the morning and stubbing your toe in the corner of your bed and then tripping over something, and then the rest of the day just follows suit. Troubles usually come in threes, but so does good luck. The chain of bad luck, however, does not follow on from the first misfortune that has occurred. It follows on from your relationship to that event. How are you perceiving it to be? What are the beliefs you're holding on to around it? Or have you taken a step back, looked at what you've learned from it, changed your perception about it, moved over into your joy, and the whole pattern has changed? You hold the key. The pattern is created by the choice you make when you stand at the fork in the road. The coordination of intention equips you to always take the most fortunate lifeline. I would suggest sitting by a tree and meditating about this. And so all possible versions are always existing in your reality. Right here, right now, under your nose. Most of them are invisible to us, but they only become visible when we tune into them through our belief structures, to be compatible and resonant with the frequencies in any one particular version. Furthermore, as I said before, time is only a local illusion and does not really exist. Everything you ever hope to become or attain, you already have. Believe in yourself. If something's invisible to you, that's only because your belief still does not have you vibrating in the manner to synchronize with that particular parallel version reality of yourself. All is self. You contain it all, as well as all the possible versions. All these are in the here and now, and they are in various states of visible or invisible structures. all depending on your beliefs relative to that particular version of self. You see, but you also objectively experience the versions that are synchronized with your level of vibration and your level of consciousness. And it is your belief at any given moment that determines how you are vibrating. Worrying about anything is using your imagination to create something that you do not want. But your beliefs are the result of what you imagine that you can create, which you then activate with your feelings that come from your thoughts. The version with the most intense feelings attached to it then becomes activated and hence manifested. Focusing on your imagination on any one particular vision activates your feelings, which activates your creation. So the misconception here is that seeing is believing. That's saying that what we perceive determines what we believe. The actuality of it is believing is seeing. What you believe determines what you perceive. So your beliefs determine the reality that you perceive, the perception of your reality. How are you today interpreting your beliefs or your perception of reality? How are you emotionally reacting and interpreting that reality? How are you being aware of your thoughts? So I'd like to leave you with a thought that based on your emotions and your thoughts, how are you going to today take your actions forward? And remember that when you're watching a program on your television and you're not enjoying the program, you do not try and change or transform the program. No, instead you simply choose another program that you prefer. And as your Reality Transurfing coach and instructor and trainer, and consciousness coach with a level of consciousness of 1,000, I invite you to take this program with me. Change your reality by changing your thought and feeling. Wholeness and balanced vibrations. And don't forget to press the like button and the bell and leave a comment. Thank you.